Hello snowboarders of the internet. I'm your host Avran LeFeber, and in this video we're going to be breaking down the Vans Verse Parker Zimowski Pro Model boot. Yeah, that's a mouthful right there. Anyways, we're going to be going over all the different tech features in it, give you a few measurements, and give you a little breakdown of what you can expect with this boot and whether or not it might be the one for you. Now remember, the best boot is the one that fits your foot and fits your needs. So if this boot fits your foot and fits your needs, awesome. If it doesn't, you got to look somewhere else. Get sized properly, try them on at your local shop if you can. This video made in part by a partnership with Tactics.com. That's right, Tactics Board Shop donated this product so that we could actually film this boot breakdown. That's how cool they are. So why don't you go check them out. This is a burly boot. It is built to last. You got a lot of TPU on the outer shell to just create rebound and protect it. You're going to notice that right around the toe. Basically, you have no seams. This is just going to be a little bit more of a durable toe. So when you're actually like kicking in and hiking, you don't have to worry about it. Resting your board on it, it's not going to give you any issues. You do have this fabric over the top, and that's sewn in. That may have a little bit of some issues, but I really wouldn't worry about that. And then protecting the cables, you also have protecting the cables. You do have this little cover slip right there with that little zipper on it. So you got that going on. The back spine, also more TPU. This is going to provide rebound when you drive back into it. You're going to notice that it actually gives you some rigidity and some response when you're just laying a carve or flexing deep into it. What this is doing is this is making it a little bit more durable back there. And one thing you're going to notice with these is that they actually don't have a slimmer profile. These are kind of chonky. They sit a little bit higher. They're going to sit a little bit tighter in some bindings out there. So you want to make sure that you're taking care of that. The other thing is the ankle articulation. When you flex this, really bulges out at the sides. So like, don't expect this right off the bat to have a lot of articulation. You're going to need to work the boot in to get it there. You're hoping for a more articulated cuff with a lot more free flexing in it. You're not going to get as much. On the tongue of the shell, you also do have these stiffeners that you can put in, take out, so you can play around with it and see if you want it softer or stiffer. It's nice that they do give you this option. You got two of them in there, so you can play around with that. You could have one on the outside, one on the inside. You could have none. You could do just one in either placement. Just helps you play and customize with the stiffness of this boot. On the shell of this boot, you do have a dual boa. So the top one does the top of the tongue and everything, while the side one does more over the instep. So you can kind of customize how tight or how loose you actually want that to be in there. It's all personal preference. These are the old steel cable laces, not the cloth lace on these boots. One thing that I will say though is if you break your boa cable, this little zipper gusset that covers everything is going to get in the way of relacing it. It's going to be a real bitch. I'm going to tell you that right now. That's just going to suck. Down here on the instep, you actually have this little piece of fabric. You can kind of tweak it around to get it over your instep. And this is what your side boa actually tightens down. So this helps just drive in and change the dynamic of how the boot will fit. The cool thing is though, you do have customization with the flex in this between the tongue stiffeners and how tight you get that side boa that covers over the instep as well. With the liner, you have a power strap sewn into the back that wraps around the top, so you can really crank that top and get it tight to the shell, or you can tuck it in and just not use it. It's your call. You do also have that internal harness right there that helps just lock you in, and you notice it doesn't go all the way up. That's where the power strap actually comes in. And then inside this, you actually have a heat compound in there so that it helps refract the heat back up into the liner to keep you a little more warm. Hey, have you given this video a thumbs up right there? You know you want to. And while you're down there, why don't you subscribe, click the bell, get those notifications. That way you're not missing any of the programming we've got coming out for you. The sole of this boot is Vans V3 Super Waffle Enduro. This is their more aggressive sole, so you're gonna notice it's a little more durable. Like when you push in, it doesn't have as much give to it. This is gonna be a really chonky tread. It's really gonna dig in more aggressively than some others out there in the market. This is actually probably the best tread that Vans makes. It's gonna be the most durable out there. It does sit a little bit higher than other boots, so it is a little bit chonkier, and the shell is a little bit bigger too, so it's got a bigger profile overall with it. So if you're hoping to slim down, not really gonna be the case with these. The liner on this is the V3 Ultra Cush, and it does feature the flash dry from North Face in there that's gonna just help wick away moisture and whatnot. This is the beefier liner from Vans, and it's probably actually the best. So you have this neoprene, so this is really designed to bulge out. Like, it's going to be able to just give you more give. If you got a toe that's a little longer, that's going to be able to push out. You got like a bunion or anything going on their sixth toe, this is going to push out as well. It's a little softer, more malleable at the top, so those of you that have problems with it around your calf muscle, you don't have to worry about it. Then you've got this X cage on the outside, which is like a butterfly wrap or double C bars, whatever you want to call it. One thing that I do want you guys to know is that there's an aggressive heel pocket in there. It's wider than others out there, but it's very deep. And if you have a big bone protrusion or anything with your ankles, you're going to feel this. You might be able to heat mold it out, but you might also have to cut the liner on the outside and pull foam out. This is something that I've encountered with a lot of people having this issue. The other thing, even though this is the best liner that Vans makes, this foam really packs out. You need to make sure you are sizing this very snug because it will have a ton of give. Like, I've had friends that are like, yeah, I could feel my toes at the end of the day on the first day that I rode them, and by the second day, they're like, I had about a half size, if not more, wiggle room in there. When it comes to the insole, you're gonna get the V3 Cush Pop. So 3 layers of foam in there. It's just gonna be a little more dense. It's gonna absorb more chatter. The nice thing is you get this posting around there. So this is actually gonna give you some arch support and cradle it and some foot shaping in there. And then you got 3 layers of foam in there. That's just gonna help dampen any vibrations. This is way better than what a lot of other companies in this price point are doing or for this style of boot. So just be aware that Vans actually put some slight thought into this compared to other companies. At the forefoot of this liner, when you get it all lined up perfectly, so I put it on the number 1, so I'm 1 inch in from the start of this. It comes over just past 5, so it's a little bit wider than 4 inches in there. So this is gonna be a lot wider. And you also have this neoprene, so this is really gonna bulge out. Measuring this at the back, it's just under 11 inches at the top of the liner on the back of the boot, and it's right about 10 at the front with that sloping down. It's gonna be pretty much the same with it. So it's about a standard height on that boot, nothing really big to worry about there. On the back of this, you do have what I like to call the canklinator, this foam and fabric that kind of just allows for a bigger calf muscle to be pushed into it. It's gonna just expand a little bit more. Measuring the shell height at the back, it comes in just a little over 10.5. At the front, we're looking at about 10 on there. So once again, not the highest cuff out there, but about average with everything else on the market. So who's this boot for? I think it's for someone that really likes dual bow on their shell. They're a little bit more of an aggressive rider. They might need some customization with the flex in there. They've got bigger calves. They got more of a U shape in their heel than a V shape. So their foot is more like this and then it goes out versus just being a V. So a little bit wider back there, but they still don't have like a crazy big ankle. They need some serious heel hold in there. Like what we're doing over here? Want to support us further? Swing on over to Angry Snowboarder VIP and become a member. Sure, I could tell you more here, but I got a video over there that explains it so much better. All right, so hopefully we broke down the Vans Verse for you, and now you know what you're getting into or not getting into, because remember, the best boot is the one that fits your foot and fits your needs. So get sized properly and get your feet in the boot that works for you. If this isn't the boot for you, why don't you go watch one of our other boot breakdowns?